Tasha K claims proof in an alleged HIV/AIDS case. Papoose seeks bail after a court arrest. And tensions rise as the situation turns into one of the most talked about controversies online. The entertainment world is once again shaken by a major controversy after popular blogger and media personality Tasha K came forward claiming she has proof connected to an alleged HIV/AIDS case. While at the same time, rapper Papoose reportedly found himself dealing with serious legal trouble after being arrested at court and later seeking bail. The combination of these two explosive developments has sent social media into a frenzy, with fans, critics, and industry insiders all trying to piece together what is really going on behind the scenes. Tasha K is no stranger to controversy. Over the years, she has built a reputation for breaking shocking stories, exposing celebrity drama, and making bold claims that often spark viral debates. This time, however, the situation appears far more serious. According to Tasha K, she is in possession of what she describes as solid proof related to an alleged HIV/AIDS case involving well-known names. While she has not publicly released all the details, she has strongly suggested that legal documents, private sources, and insider information back up her claims. These allegations immediately caught public attention because of the sensitive nature of the topic. HIV and AIDS are not just gossip-worthy subjects. They involve real health concerns, privacy rights, and potential legal consequences. Many people online have questioned whether such information should even be discussed publicly, especially when it involves alleged medical conditions. Supporters of Tasha K argue that if there is truth behind the claims, the public deserves to know, while critics believe she is once again crossing ethical boundaries for views and attention. At the same time, another major storyline added more fuel to the fire. Reports emerged that Papoose was arrested during a court-related situation and later sought bail. This immediately raised questions about what exactly happened and whether it was connected in any way to the allegations being discussed by Tasha K. While official details remain limited, sources claim that the arrest was linked to a legal dispute that escalated unexpectedly, forcing authorities to step in. The timing of these two events made the situation even more intense. As Tasha K was teasing her alleged proof, news of Papoose's court arrest began circulating, leading many to believe that both stories were somehow connected. Social media quickly started drawing lines between the two, even though no official confirmation has clearly established a direct link. Still, the public narrative has already taken shape. And once that happens, controlling the story becomes nearly impossible. Fans of Papoose have rushed to his defense, claiming that he is being targeted unfairly and that the allegations are nothing more than rumors amplified by culture. They argue that Tasha K has a history of making extreme claims that later turn out to be exaggerated or legally disputed. On the other hand, some people believe that where there is smoke, there is fire, and that the repeated emergence of such stories suggests there might be deeper issues at play. What makes this situation even more complicated is the role of the court system. Papoose seeking bail indicates that the matter is not just online drama, but has entered a legal phase. Once courts become involved, everything changes. Statements are no longer just opinions. They become part of legal records. Lawyers, judges, and official documents now play a role in shaping the outcome, which means the truth may eventually come out, but not in the way social media expects. Meanwhile, Tasha K continues to tease more information, promising that she will reveal additional details in upcoming content. This has kept her audience hooked, waiting for the next big revelation. However, legal experts warn that making public claims about alleged medical conditions can be dangerous, especially if the information cannot be verified or is protected under privacy laws. If the claims turn out to be false or misleading, the consequences could be serious, including lawsuits and defamation charges. Tensions continue to rise as both sides remain silent on key points. Papoose has not given a detailed public statement addressing the specific allegations, and Tasha K has not yet released full evidence. This silence creates a vacuum that is quickly filled by speculation, theories, and online debates. Every small update, tweet, or video clip becomes a headline, even if it contains no real facts. In today's digital age, stories like this spread faster than ever. A single claim can go viral within minutes, shaping public opinion before anyone has a chance to verify the information. This is exactly what seems to be happening here. The alleged HIV/AIDS case, combined with the court arrest and bail situation, has created a perfect storm of controversy, emotion, and uncertainty. As of now, what is clear is that this story is far from over. Tasha K insists she has proof. Papoose is dealing with legal challenges, and the public is watching every move closely. Whether this turns into a major exposure of hidden truths or just another example of internet-driven scandal remains to be seen. One thing is certain: the tension is real. The stakes are high. And the next chapters of this story could change reputations forever as the controversy continues to unfold. More attention is now being placed on what Tasha K actually means when she says she has proof. So far, she has not released any full documents publicly, but she has hinted at having access to private communications, unnamed sources, and what she describes as legal paperwork. This has led many people to question whether this so-called evidence is truly strong enough to support such serious allegations, or whether it is being used mainly to build suspense and keep the story trending. In cases involving alleged medical conditions like HIV or AIDS, the concept of proof becomes extremely complicated. Medical records are protected by strict privacy laws, and even if someone claims to have access to such information, releasing it without consent could be illegal. This is why many legal analysts believe that if Tasha K truly has sensitive documents, she may never be able to show them publicly in full. Instead, she might rely on indirect statements, blurred screenshots, or anonymous testimonies, which can easily be challenged in court. This brings us to the legal side of the story, which is becoming more important with every update. Papoose seeking bail after a court arrest signals that this situation is no longer just online drama. Once legal processes begin, everything becomes slower, more controlled, and more serious. Lawyers usually advise their clients to stay silent, avoid social media, and let the courts handle the matter. This could explain why Papoose has not directly responded to Tasha K's claims in detail. From a public relations perspective, silence can be a double-edged sword. On one hand, staying quiet protects a person from saying something that could be used against them legally. On the other hand, silence allows rumors to grow stronger. In the absence of official statements, the public often assumes the worst, especially when the allegations are already viral. Meanwhile, Tasha K's audience continues to grow. Her supporters believe she is exposing hidden truths that powerful people want to keep secret. They see her as a whistleblower figure, someone who is not afraid to talk about uncomfortable topics. Critics, however, see a different picture. They argue that she uses sensational claims to generate views, clicks, and controversy, regardless of the emotional or legal consequences for the people involved. Another important element of this story is how social media is shaping the narrative. Platforms like YouTube, X, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok are filled with reaction videos, breakdowns, and conspiracy theories. Some creators are analyzing every word Tasha K says. Others are digging into Papoose's past interviews, lyrics, and relationships, trying to find hidden clues. This kind of crowd investigation often mixes facts with imagination, making it even harder to separate truth from fiction. The alleged HIV/AIDS aspect of the story has also raised ethical concerns. Health activists and professionals have spoken out about the dangers of turning serious medical topics into entertainment. HIV is a real condition that affects millions of people worldwide, and using it as part of celebrity drama can reinforce stigma and misinformation. Even if the claims were true, Many argue that such information should be handled privately, not used as online content. At the same time, some people believe that if there was any real risk involved, such as someone knowingly putting others in danger, then public discussion could be justified. This is where the debate becomes complex. It turns into a conflict between privacy rights and public interest, between legal boundaries and moral questions. Unfortunately, social media rarely handles such nuance well, and most discussions quickly turn into emotional arguments rather than logical analysis. As for Papoose's legal situation, without official court documents being made public, it is impossible to say how serious the charges are or whether they are directly related to Tasha K's allegations. Legal experts often point out that seeking bail does not mean someone is guilty. It simply means the person wants temporary freedom while the case is being processed. Many high-profile individuals go through arrests and bail situations that later turn out to be minor or resolved quietly. But because this story is already tied to controversial claims, the public perception becomes much more negative than usual. Another layer to this drama is the impact on reputations. In the entertainment industry, perception is everything. Even unproven allegations can damage careers, brand deals, and personal relationships. Once a name is associated with words like HIV, arrest, and court, it becomes extremely difficult to erase that image, even if the person is later cleared of all accusations. This is why many celebrities choose to take legal action. In such situations, defamation lawsuits, cease and desist letters, and public statements from lawyers are common strategies. If Tasha K's claims cannot be verified, she could face serious legal consequences. On the other hand, if her information turns out to be accurate, it could completely shift public opinion and validate her role as an investigative voice. For now, everything remains in a state of uncertainty. No official medical evidence has been released, no detailed court documents have been shared with the public. What exists is a powerful narrative built on claims, reactions, and speculation. And in the age of digital media, narratives often become more influential than facts. As tensions continue to rise, one thing is clear: this story is no longer just about two individuals. It represents a bigger issue about how modern media works, how quickly allegations spread, and how fragile truth can become in the middle of viral controversy. The next part of this saga will likely depend on one key factor: whether real, verifiable evidence finally comes out, or whether the story slowly fades into another unresolved internet scandal. As the story continues to dominate online conversations, the focus now shifts toward public reaction and the role of digital media in shaping how this controversy is being perceived. What started as a set of claims and a court incident has now evolved into a full-blown social media spectacle, where millions of people are forming opinions without having access to complete or verified information. One of the most noticeable aspects of this situation is how divided the audience has become. On one side, there are people who fully support Tasha K, believing that she is exposing truths that mainstream media refuses to cover. They argue that independent bloggers and content creators play a crucial role in holding powerful figures accountable. To them, Tasha K represents freedom of speech and the right to question public personalities. On the other side, there are those who strongly criticize her approach. They believe that making public claims about alleged medical conditions crosses a serious ethical line. According to this group, even public figures deserve privacy when it comes to health matters, especially if those claims are not supported by official evidence. They see the entire situation as an example of how sensationalism can harm real people for the sake of views and engagement. The media's role in this controversy cannot be ignored either. Traditional news outlets have mostly reported the situation carefully, using words like alleged, reported, and unconfirmed. This is very different from how social media operates, where headlines are often exaggerated, emotional, and designed to attract attention. As a result, two very different versions of the same story exist. One controlled and cautious, the other dramatic and viral. This difference highlights a major issue in modern journalism. In the past, information passed through editors, fact-checkers, and legal teams before reaching the public. Today, anyone with a phone and an internet connection can break a story. While this has created more freedom, it has also made misinformation much more common. In this case, many people are sharing clips, quotes, and screenshots without knowing whether they are real, edited, or taken out of context. Another important factor is the psychological impact of online accusations. Even when claims are unproven, they can cause serious emotional stress for the people involved. Being linked to topics like HIV, AIDS, and legal trouble can affect mental health, family relationships, and personal identity. Public figures are often expected to handle it, but they are still human, and the pressure of constant online judgment can be overwhelming. From a legal perspective, this situation could still go in several directions. Strong evidence is presented and verified, it could lead to official investigations, court cases, or public statements from authorities. If not, the focus may shift toward defamation and misuse of information. In either scenario, lawyers will play a major role in determining what can and cannot be said publicly. There is also the possibility that this entire controversy slowly fades away without a clear conclusion. This happens often in internet culture. A story trends for weeks or months, people argue, take sides, and create theories, and then a new scandal appears, replacing the old one. In such cases, the truth may never fully come out, leaving behind only damaged reputations and unanswered questions. What makes this case especially sensitive is the involvement of health-related claims. HIV and AIDS are not just words for headlines. They represent real medical conditions that affect real communities. Turning them into entertainment content risks spreading fear, stigma, and misunderstanding. Health professionals consistently emphasize that such topics should be discussed with care, accuracy, and respect. At the same time, this controversy reflects a deeper problem in celebrity culture. Fans often feel emotionally connected to public figures, as if they personally know them. This makes scandals feel more personal and intense. People defend celebrities like family members or attack them like enemies, even though they only see small, curated parts of their lives. This emotional attachment fuels online wars, making rational discussion nearly impossible. Another key issue is accountability. If someone makes serious public claims, should they be legally required to prove them? And if the claims are false, should there be consequences? These questions are becoming more important as digital media grows. Without clear boundaries, the line between journalism and rumor becomes blurred, and trust in all media slowly erodes. Looking ahead, the future of this story depends on three main factors: evidence, legal action, and public interest. If real documents or official statements are released, the narrative will shift dramatically. If lawsuits are filed, the story will move into courtrooms instead of comment sections. And if the public loses interest, the controversy may quietly disappear without resolution. For now, the situation remains a powerful example of how modern scandals work. A single claim can trigger global discussion. A court incident can turn into a viral narrative. And social media can transform uncertainty into perceived truth within hours. In the end, story is not just about Tasha K or Papoose. It is about the system we all participate in, the way we consume information, the way we react emotionally, and the way we decide what to believe. Until verified facts replace speculation, everything remains in the realm of alleged, where opinions are loud but the truth is still waiting to be revealed. As this controversy reaches what feels like a critical point, the long-term implications are now becoming clearer. Whether or not the allegations are ever fully proven, the impact of this situation has already left a mark on everyone involved. In today's digital world, damage is often done long before the truth is confirmed, and this case is a perfect example of how fast reputations can be shaped or destroyed by online narratives. One of the biggest lessons from this situation is the power of influence. Tasha K, as a content creator with a massive audience, holds real influence over public opinion. When someone with that level of reach makes serious claims, those words carry weight, even if they are labeled as alleged. Millions of people hear the message, interpret it in their own way, and spread it further. At that point, control over the narrative is lost, and the story takes on a life of its own. For Papoose, the situation highlights another harsh reality of fame: legal issues. Even minor ones can quickly become global headlines. Seeking bail after a court arrest may be a normal legal process. But when combined with viral allegations, it creates a much darker image. The public rarely separates facts from context. Instead, everything blends into one dramatic storyline. This makes it extremely difficult for public figures to protect their image, even when they follow legal advice and remain silent. From a legal standpoint, this controversy may still lead to serious consequences. The claims are false or misleading, defamation lawsuits could follow. Courts take reputation and privacy very seriously, especially when health-related information is involved. On the other hand, if any part of the allegations is proven true, it could trigger official investigations, settlements, or long-term legal battles. Either way, the legal system, not social media, will ultimately decide what is factual and what is not. Another important outcome of this case is the conversation around media responsibility. Bloggers, influencers, and independent journalists now operate in a space where they can reach more people than traditional news channels. But with that power comes responsibility. The question is no longer, can I say this? But should I say this? The difference between reporting and exploiting is becoming harder to define. And this controversy sits right in the middle of that gray area. This situation also exposes the darker side of online audiences. Many people do not wait for evidence. They choose sides based on emotions, loyalty, or personal bias. Some attack, some defend, and very few remain neutral. The internet rewards strong opinions, not careful thinking. As a result, complex issues like legal cases and health allegations are reduced to simple narratives of heroes and villains. In the long term, stories like this slowly change how the public views digital media. Trust becomes weaker. People become more skeptical, but also more addicted to drama. Even when a story is proven false, the emotional memory remains. The headline stays in people's minds longer than the correction. This creates a culture where being accused is sometimes more damaging than being guilty. There is also a human side that often gets ignored. Behind every viral controversy are real people with families, careers, and mental health struggles. Constant online attention can feel like living under a microscope. Every move, every word, every silence is analyzed and judged. For public figures, this pressure never truly ends, and for content creators, the temptation to keep feeding the cycle becomes stronger with every viral moment. From a broader perspective, this case represents the future of scandals in the digital age. They are no longer controlled by newspapers or television. They are built by algorithms, reactions, and engagement. The more shocking the claim, the faster it spreads. The more emotional the response, the longer it stays relevant. Truth in this system often becomes secondary. So what happens next? Realistically, there are only a few possible endings. 1. Verified evidence is released, and the story reaches a clear conclusion. 2. Legal action silences public discussion, pushing everything behind closed doors. Or 3. The public slowly moves on and the story fades without resolution. It's becoming just another unresolved chapter in internet history, regardless of the outcome. One thing is certain: this controversy will be remembered as a case study of modern media power. It shows how easily information can turn into influence, how quickly allegations can become beliefs, and how difficult it is to restore truth once narratives are already formed. In the end, the real tension is not just between Tasha K. and Papoose. It is between truth and virality, privacy and exposure, facts and perception. And in today's world, perception often wins. At least for a while, this story reminds us that while scandals may come and go, the way we consume and spread information will continue to shape reality itself. The question is no longer just who is right or wrong, but whether the system we all participate in is built for truth or simply for attention.